Hello, hi, wonderful souls. Namaste. Welcome to PMC English and my name is Parinitha Patri. I welcome you all yet again to another beautiful episode of Spiritual Glossary, my dear friends. And today we are going to talk about a very interesting word. Should I say interesting? You know, when we talk about ourselves or when we talk about others, we use this term called, or we use this word called insanity. I am insane, you are insane, they are insane, they are mad. So what is this insanity all about? And how can we define this word called insanity? That is what today's word is all about, my dear friends. And in Spiritual Glossary, we try to find out the real meanings of each and every word. So today's word is insanity. So let us understand the word called insanity in a deeper way. So the human soul sometimes forces the mind to think in terms of separatism, separate religion, separate nation, separate interests. This is really poison for the mind because the mind is created only to synthesize things. As complications and diversions are created in life, you need a mind that synthesizes them. For example, driving is the product of a synthesis. So is a symphony, so is a speech. When you give a lecture, you are synthesizing thousands of ideas, opinions and knowledge into one lecture. But when you force your mind to separate, you create a mental sickness which is called insanity. Insanity is a function of a mind which works against itself. Insanity starts when the teaching is misused in any life long enough to damage the person's mental plane. Those who have the tendency to misuse the teaching must not be allowed to come closer to the teaching until this tendency is eliminated and cured. Insanity.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so.
Has been taken from two books, Challenge for Discipleship and The Psyche and Psychism, written by Torkom Saraydarian, my dear friends. And that's it for today's episode of Spiritual Glossary. Let us all become sane, enlightened, soulful. That's all for today, my dear friends, for Spiritual Glossary. I'll see you again next time with yet another beautiful word. Thank you for watching PMC English. Namaste.